caution, the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. We have John here from Bone. What's up, man?
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right. Getting festive for the wrong month.
Way off, man. You got to do the Halloween thing.
I just grabbed whatever's around me. That might have been sitting last year, man. I don't know.
I hear you. So the way we do things on here is we kind of we have set lists, but we kind of play a game, and you can choose the number between 0 and 61, or we could just roll the dice, and you don't know what kind of question you're going to get. It could be something off topic. It could be band stuff. It could be fucking anything. You really just don't know.
Pick a number between 0 and 61, or would you say
1 and 61?
1. I was going to say, what the hell's 0?
Or you could just have us roll the dice and you get random.
I like feeling like I have some power over this. So I want to.
You do. You have all the power.
Oh man, I want to say 23.
23 it is. Let's see what 23 has us today.
The answer is Vietnam.
That's kind of funny. All right. Ideal filming spot for a video of yours. So if you can have an unlimited amount budget and go anywhere that you want, where would you take your band?
Oh man. Probably the beaches and ocean around Norway.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had this idea for our song called Hund. You mean to say what it's about and all that? I mean, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Hey, this is about y'all, not about us. You go for it.
Too much. But yeah, so our song Hund, and that's German for dog. It's about these sort of barbarians. They're Viking type guys, right? It's just generic.
Okay.
And they worship this dog as a good luck symbol, so much so that they paint the dog's image on the sails of their ship. And when they board the ship, they all throw their weapons down in front of the dog, and he bites all the handles of their axes and swords, all for good luck. They go out to sea, and the dog, believing that he's the good luck symbol, is proven wrong, because the way these guys look up to this dog pisses all the gods off. And the gods torment the ship and destroy everything. And in the end, the dog and the crew all die, but the gods give the dog a nod of respect before they kill him. So,
All right, that sounds like a pretty good video of me. I mean, I'll watch it.
I'm down with that. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That works. Well, you put a lot of thought behind that one.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be in a ship too? So you're gonna be in some ships and
yeah, it would be. That's the idea. The ship, guys boarding on the ship from the beaches of something like Norway, and
yeah. You need like a big cliff too.
oh yeah, sure, all that good scenery.
Yeah, you gotta have. I mean, because it's unlimited, right? So you can have whatever you want.
And with AI, maybe next year won't have to hire a director and a crew.
There you go. You never know.
We got a lot of comments coming in. What's up, y'all? We're not ignoring you. Hey, Autumn, Crystal,
How y'all doing?
Ray, Brenda, Kelly. How's everybody doing tonight?
Right.
And those watching, you guys know if you want to ask Bone a question, you want to ask John a question, go ahead, post it up. And you know what? If it's worth it, I'll throw it up there. If he decides to answer it, he does. And if he doesn't, fuck it.
Move on.
I love that. You know what? I don't think there's any shortage of me talking in my life. I like to yammer. So
that's good. That's good.
You should yammer about that shirt you got on because I'm really liking that shirt. Let me see. I gotta check it out. There you go. Hell yeah! It's like the Joker style. I like that shirt. That's a good shirt.
It's Doyle is the guitarist for the Misfits.
Yeah.
And we played with his band last year. Last summer, and I had to grab a damn shirt. I mean, it was badass, and the whole experience was awesome. For some reason, punk fans really like us, even though we're a metal band. We're kind of like a metal band with a punk problem. So,
I mean, I don't really foresee that as a problem.
No, I mean, like we have an addiction to punk bands, like in our influences.
Okay, I got you.
I don't think it's a problem, that you're hearing something bad or anything. It's just like, the first song on, the first song on our album. The first thing I say is "whoa," so it's very punk.
Fair enough. So Brenda asks, "What is your favorite '80s band?"
Metallica.
Okay,
definitely Metallica. Like they got me into heavier stuff. I never would have considered any other bands like Megadeth and Pantera, and if I hadn't heard Metallica first, and I never would have heard of the Misfits if I hadn't heard of Metallica first.
Right, I'd agree with that. Actually, here's a really good question: what's your thoughts on using AI in music creation?
I don't like it for music creation. That being said, if you are stuck in a rut, I think anything that jumpstarts your creativity is fine.
Yeah.
Like, if you hear the AI do something that could lead to you writing a song, I don't care. That's just the same as hearing someone else's song that gives you an idea for a song, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't write their song and you heard it. So I don't see the harm in that. What I see the harm in is that people still don't understand what AI does to give you something. You remember the TV show in the 80s? What was it called? Family Ties.
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember Justine Bateman, the older sister?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She did an interview recently, and I don't know where this came from or how it came about, but she said something brilliant. AI, the way it works, it's like a blender with every idea in the world being thrown in the blender, right?
Yeah.
And then it takes a spoonful of whatever's in the blender mixed up, and it gives it to you. And she said, what we in the entertainment industry call that is theft. And I was like, yeah, taking a lot of people's ideas and mixing them together and then giving it, having a machine give you their ideas, whether in part or whole, is legally theft.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can say that, we all accidentally do something because everything's been done before, right? But the way you change someone else's idea to make it your own, it better be changed enough so you don't get sued. But if for some reason the does the same thing, people are like, oh, no, it's okay because it's AI. And I disagree with that.
I'm with you on that one. So we got Crystal asking, what is your favorite horror movie?
You're going to hate it. You're going to
Oh,
hate
no.
it. When this movie came out, the word behind it on the street was, and it was the first horror movie like this, by the way, done documentary style. It was supposed to be footage of these college students that went into the woods and never came back. Blair Witch.
Oh,
I was in the audience before anybody cleared up. Like right when it came out is when I went and saw it. The audience was freaking the hell out. People were freaking out for real, like scared.
Like for real.
And I was like looking back and forth going, oh my God, what is this? And everybody, I didn't buy into the real thing, but I've been lost in the woods. So it hit something with me. I'm from West Texas, and I've been out in the woods in different places, and being lost in the woods at night is terrifying.
It definitely is an experience. I can attest to that.
That movie hit me different than a lot of people.
I'm so weird because I'm a big horror guy myself, and I've acted in a few independent horror films, and I actually just have been writing my own. And I love this one film that Peter Jackson did back in his college days. And it's a film called Dead Alive. And that is my absolute favorite movie ever.
I kept saying I was going to see that, and then life took over and I forgot. So now you remind me.
Now it's on.
So you can actually watch it for free on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
It is on YouTube for free. So you can actually go to YouTube and watch the full film for free on there. Unedited, uncut, the whole 9 yards.
You know what? I want to clear up something about the Blair Witch thing. I don't have a favorite of like a song or a movie, but that's definitely one of my favorites because it leaves your imagination to run wild. Yeah. I love writing like that where there's mystery. And the movies that everything's out front and it's just nonstop jump scares.
Right.
Like I had fun. The first time I went and saw like House of a Thousand Corpses, it was fun. And, but then you realize, after a while you feel like you've seen this movie a lot. It's because it's like a lot of other movies that are already out there where everybody's like, over and over and over. And it's just blood, guts, and jumping every 2 seconds. I was like, okay, I've had enough of this.
Well, I kind of feel like the jump scare is like, I kind of feel like it's an easy out. Yeah. It's like a gimmick. Yeah. And it's super easy. It's an easy out. I feel like it's kind of like the lazy way instead of writing out like a full entire like in-depth story of whatever it is that you're doing. When you're just doing jump scare after jump scare, it's just the fucking easy way out to me.
You know what used to scare the living crap out of me, speaking of movies that left something to the imagination, is all the old, I mean, the effects were awful. It was like nail polish, for blood or something. But all the old Christopher, good Lord, from Lord of the Rings, he played Saruman. Christopher Lee, all of his old movies.
Yeah, Christopher Lee, gotcha.
Yeah, like all the old 60s and 70s horror movies. I used to love that stuff because it was dark and they used just a dark room to scare you. And the reflection in people's eyes would just look terrifying. And there was a movie, good Lord, there was a movie with William Shatner. I think it was called Devil's Reign.
Mm-hmm.
That one used to get me, like I was, Ernest Borgnine was like Satan or something in that movie. And it was just...
I grew up like on the trauma films. So I'm a big like horror comedy, like grotesquely disgusting and like horrific fucking jokes and shit like that. That was always my shit. Like I fucking love it. I still love it. But that was my big thing, which actually kind of leads into a question I'll throw in there because I always interject this one. If you could be locked in a house with any horror icon, who would it be and why? Now, keep in mind, do you want a chance of survival or do you want to die really fast? This might help you with your decision.
Horror icon.
Strategize. You got to strategize it, though.
Damn. Trapped in a house for how long?
24 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Well,
It's like, damn.
I feel like if you didn't piss off Frankenstein's monster, he would just leave you alone.
Kind of slow.
Hey, we haven't had that one before. That's a good one, actually.
Seems
That's
like
pretty smart.
the old story. Everybody went and agitated him, and then he went crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I would just chill out in the corner and be like, "Look, if you're gonna, we know he leaves that little girl alone, right? So,
Right.
yeah. So I'll just be nice."
I'll just shock him.
He kind of had a I didn't think about that one, but like the one I threw out there was the leprechaun, and just give him the goddamn gold and fucking call it a day.
That's a good point.
I mean,
Now,
give the little man his shit and fucking let's roll out.
I guess it's kind of iffy because we're assuming whoever is locked in the house with whatever monster or whatever knows something about them already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're in a house that looks like a suave European and just happens to be Dracula, you know, if you know something about him, then you might have some garlic and some crosses handy. But you know, if you don't, you're gonna invite him in and he's gonna kill you,
Right.
or even worse,
I would spend most of my time during the day in the light.
Well, he said 24 hours.
Yeah.
I know.
24 hours.
Yeah, like
Most
trapped-
of the time in the light.
hours. So it's like, damn.
We've actually our most the one that we've got the most answer on the same thing has been Chucky.
Yeah, everybody's field goaling him. He's getting
Wow.
punted a couple 100 yards.
That's a good point. You probably just lock him in a closet and make sure you keep him in the damn closet, right?
Well, see, my
True.
thing is he's pretty resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was going to go with one of the dolls, I would actually go with Tiffany over him. I'm just saying, like
He's
she's
pretty vicious.
I mean, I'm just saying, like I think I would roll with Tiffany over fucking Chucky, but you know, teach their own.
What about the blob? You just get a grate and it'll just fall in the
You're
grate.
fucked. Everything that gets in its way, you're fucked.
Not just those cattle guards.
And that's if you count the blob as an icon. Like, do you count the blob as an icon?
It's kind of a
it's
big.
in those old black and white films. It's
I
guess you could. I guess you could. Well, if that's the case, could you count the movie The Stuff as a horror icon and just not drink the shit?
You're just taking me back. Wow. Good grief. How old am I?
The Stuff.
It was a good movie. It's one of my favorite. I love that movie.
House full of scanners.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not doing scanners. Hell no. All right. You want to roll the dice? You want to pick your next number?
I'll pick another number. I like it. I will choose 44.
44. What is one animal that you would like to see in the wild?
In the wild. Oh, man.
You can ride an elephant.
Well, I didn't know I'd get to experience riding them. I just thought you said see them. But
See him.
well, damn.
I'm sorry. If I see an animal, I'm probably going to want to ride it.
Well, I don't think I'd want to ride a wolf, but I would love to be out. I've thought about this for a long time. I'd love to be out on a ridge in like Yellowstone and just watch like a pack of wolves do what they do. I think that would be
Okay.
people don't realize they're not dog size. They're way bigger.
Yeah.
They're like a small horse sometimes. it's yeah, they're very, very big and they're just really violent, but they're also from a distance, they're majestic. It's like watching a tornado. It's like you want to see that in your lifetime. And I'm from Texas, you're from Texas, and I mean, when I was a kid, we would just go outside and watch tornadoes.
Yeah.
And my sister would be freaking out, but me and my brother and my dad, we'd be like, "Oh, look at that one! Oh, look at that one!"
Yeah.
It was like this majestic thing from a distance.
From a distance.
Yeah.
Keyword distance.
And then I got one up close and personal when I lived in, of course, it's a trailer park, and it formed in the middle of our dirt road, and it was, I mean, a few 100 feet away, and it fortunately it did what most of them do, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then just exploded into like a dust cloud. Most of them survived, but this one looked, at first there was a dust devil in the middle of the road, right? And me and my brother and sister are standing out there while my mom's calling our memo and saying, "We're coming out there, the storm's getting bad." And this dust devil just got bigger and bigger, and we're like, "Wow, that's the biggest dust devil I've ever seen." And you look up at the top of it, and you see the sky coming down to meet it in the middle.
You're like, that is not the dust devil.
It's stuff rolling out.
Looks like, Tag, you're it.
That'll take the magic right out of that moment.
Yeah, that just like literally sucked it right out. No pun intended, but
I was like, you got to put this in a Twister movie, right? So they.
No, I was born in Oklahoma and raised up in Oklahoma until I was like 16. So like I watched the very first movie Twister, and I knew where all it was done and filmed and all that shit. And like it was really fucking cool. I for some reason, after hearing all the bullshit about the second one, I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it because I've heard it's like fucking horrible. So
no, it's not horrible. The only thing I would say they make a mistake on is because just like the old one, there's a main guy character and a main girl, and instead of them being a team. I mean, do you want me to tell you anything about it? I don't want. It's not.
It ain't gonna bother me. I don't care. Spoilers don't bother me.
Okay, then if y'all are cool with it, they go off. Towards the end of the movie, instead of them being a team and something happens involving them and then them coming together because they obviously are each other, she goes off and does the girl boss thing, and he's standing there smiling while she does this thing, and I'm like, why? Why'd you just, the whole movie's building up to them being together, and then she just runs off to be the boss, and she just runs towards the tornado towards the end of the movie and solves everything herself. I was like, why? Every guy in the audience was like, what just happened?
That was extremely
that was non-climactic.
Yeah, that was like really non-climactic.
She punched the tornado, and when it falls apart, she pees on it.
That's kind of like a fucking sex scene in a horror film, and you get stabbed through the chest before you ever get the chance to finish. Well, there goes that.
Fucking Hollywood, man. Yeah,
I know.
It's about creativity.
It was just it was like fine. The end, it was fine, but the movie itself, all the way up to the end, was actually really entertaining, like the old one. Yeah, I'm not expecting Oscars or anything. You know what I mean? It was still a Twister movie.
I mean, you can't compare, though. You know what I mean? If people would stop comparing them, it's two different times that these films were made. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be different.
I'll tell you what. I love the way they constantly nodded to the old one. Like,
did they? See, that's what I was hoping for. That they would at least like interject something from the original into the new one.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, you see Dorothy, the machine.
Oh,
okay.
All rusty and old, and they're like, "Whoa, careful! That thing's ancient."
Damn, are we that old?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I
All right,
mean, I think I
There we go.
had just hit drinking age when it came out. You know.
honestly don't remember how old I was when it came out,
Yeah.
to be honest. All right, here's a good one. What was your favorite cartoon as a kid?
Oh man, a lot of things came and went. I still love the old Transformers stuff, and
Yeah, I'm a big Transformers fan. See, with me, it's like at what point of being a child though? Because like my shit changed like almost fucking like yearly or every 2 years. Like I was into Transformers. I don't know if y'all remember them, but I'm pretty sure you do. Silverhawks.
oh yeah,
Big into Silverhawks when I was a kid.
boys were so.
Yeah, I was into Voltron. I had a big Voltron kick. Fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, everybody. Fucking obviously, man. I think my longest running one though was X-Men. X-Men was my like longest running.
When X-Men was out in the 90s, when I saw it, I don't know when it originally came out, but I didn't have cable until like 89 or 90. Yeah. Because I was just a kid in West Texas with like 3 channels. A lot of stuff I had no idea when it originally came out. It might have been out for 5 to 10 years already before I got to see it. But I was crazy about going to my friends' houses and watching Thundercats.
Oh,
yes.
But I'll say that I was always a He-Man guy. Always.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
what I'm talking about.
I still have all my half-broken He-Man and Transformers stuff, and my brother's G.I. Joes are still at Mom's house, and it's stuff I would never get rid of. I told my daughter just we took her to see the new Transformers movie, and she fell in love with it.
Good. That's great.
It was really entertaining, and a little weird for me, because it's like it's Chris Hemsworth doing Optimus Prime's voice, and it's like a little try hard sounding. I'm Optimus. Yeah. I was like, oh man, it's it's okay.
That's how that is.
Yeah, you can't I can't remember the guy's name that actually did Optimus Prime's voice. He's still alive.
He's in his
I've seen him at cons and stuff, here recently, so I know he's still alive, but you really can't beat his iconic, like, original Optimus Prime voice.
Dude,
and I don't know if y'all have heard about it or not, but they're supposedly, we're going to get a Thundercats, like, real live action movie, but
yeah. It was approved, and then nothing happened, and maybe COVID killed it for a while. I don't know.
COVID killed so much goddamn fucking movies. It's like ridiculous how many movies never. It's like I've told somebody the other day. I was like, I did the whole independent movie thing and acting and stuff like that, and there's so many movies that I acted in that never seen the fucking light of day, and never will. And that's even with like big budget Hollywood. You have no idea how many movies actually got secretly filmed, done, finished, but then got fucking cut and never made it to a shelf.
There are a lot of movies that they kind of give that away. Who was it? Ryan Gosling was in some crappy movie recently that was based on a TV show from when I was a kid called The Stuntman, or something like that?
I believe so. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when I was a kid, the guy that played the Bionic Man, his name's Lee something, I think. But damn, I know this stuff until I want to say it.
I know we're the same fucking way. We're like, shit, what the fuck was that?
I go full
Fall Guy.
I want to say it, but there was a TV show of the same. It was the same story, and then Ryan Gosling and this British actress, they did this movie, and she's obviously had a lot of work done. She's in her 40s now, and he looked just like a normal guy. You could tell me he was 32, even though I think he's 40 something, or maybe early 40s. Yeah. Well, as soon as they were doing the press release I think they call it the junket, where they go out and do interviews for the movie. He obviously had a lot of work done before the interviews. His face was all like the cheeks, those big apple cheeks that they do, and he had Botox forehead and around his eyes. I was like, and then somebody posted in the comments, they said, "Man, they finally they got Ryan. They got Ryan Gosling." It's like he looked weird, and he looked weird. So it's, in the movie he didn't look like that at all, but in the interviews he's all puffed up and obviously all Hollywooded up.
God, I don't understand why they do that shit. Like, that's like fucking what's his name? Shit, fucking help me. He played Whiplash in Iron Man 2.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. He was in some like super famous movies too before all the work.
Yeah, but goddamn, that motherfucker looks like a fucking monstrosity now.
The older you get, that stuff looks horrible. You start looking like the Crypt Keeper.
Well, what happened is he started getting that work done before they were good at it.
Yeah. Well, unless you're Cher. Look at Cher. She still looks good. She's like fucking 70 something or in her 80s.
Yeah, she's in her 80s, and I think she's in her 80s or approaching it. But,
unless she's a vampire, which I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that Cher's a vampire. I don't know about y'all, but I'm leaning that way.
I'll say this: the stuff that those people are into.
There we go, Jimmy. Mickey Rourke.
That's it. He got famous all over again when Sin City came out.
Yeah, he did.
But yes, you couldn't see what his face really looked like because all the makeup.
Yeah, he looks like shit.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Like a big Frankenstein.
He'd be great for a fucking horror monster at this point. Yeah. You don't even need to put prosthetics on. He's already done.
I bet you, even though that dude's, he's probably 60-something, 70-something years old, I bet he could kick my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you wanna roll the dice? You wanna pick a number?
Let's roll the dice.
The dice it is.
I'll roll the dice.
21. Best band memorabilia that you think your fans would want.
From us?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell y'all right now, the CD we have out right now, we just kind of consider that a demo, right?
Yeah.
And we're already like trying to, up our game and all that. I had never had my singing recorded on an album in my life, and that was the first time. So when I hear that now, I hate hearing it. I hate it because some parts I'm just like, oh, I'll sound brutal if I just yell my balls off. And it just sounds like I'm yelling at the neighbor's cat or something.
Right.
I hate it. So it's like, if you want to get your hands on that before I, do a better job on the next one. It's like, oof. And that's, of course I'm going to tear myself down that way. But
yeah.
Somebody else, right. They may like the raw thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're going to always be your biggest critic.
Oh, sure.
No matter what, it's you're going to be your biggest critic. Like, you could have 50,000 people, and I know this as being a musician myself. You have 1 million people telling you, "Oh, you sound amazing," but then you'll be like, "Nope, I could do better. This sucks. I did shit." And it doesn't matter how many people tell you, you're not gonna fucking listen. You'll be like, "Nope, this is shit. I could do better. Fuck that."
I love how honest Ozzy is about hating his voice. To this day, he's like, "I hate hearing my voice." And he,
I mean, you know how many musicians I've interviewed and I've talked to, and I've been like, do you listen to your own records after you put them out? And there's I would probably say a good 95% have told me no. That they're like, once we're done recording, they're like, we don't listen to it.
Well, I can say when I pick it apart. Like, I don't listen to it enjoying it like someone else's album. That would be arrogant. To me, that's arrogant. But
right.
you can't imagine Johnny Depp sitting back watching Pirates of the Caribbean going, look how awesome I am. Look, everybody, look how he
so
out,
cool.
you know.
Hey, Mike, I've known people that are like that.
We all know some people with that attitude, but yeah, for me, I listen to it and I go, why didn't I do that better? Or and then I go, wait a minute, why didn't the producer or engineer tell me to do it again?
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, I'm so hard on myself that maybe they didn't hear that it was crappy at all. You know?
True.
So right off the bat, I go, the vocals are way too loud. I can't stand how loud the vocals are. And I still feel that way. I'm like, man, I want to turn them down. And I had him turn them down like a few times. I was like, they're just too damn loud. And then I go back and I listen and I'm like, oh, that note's like, it's a hair flat. And then I go and I listen to some bands I only started liking recently, like, and not every song from these bands do I like, but there's certain songs I think are really cool. Like, I can't remember the song name, of course, but there's a song by the band Fugazi, and I can't remember the name of the damn song, but it's like was the word wait, the waiting room? I think it's called The Waiting Room.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool, straight up like punk song that has elements, in my mind, has elements of like, Misfits in it mixed with other things. And it's definitely original, but it draws me in because of where my influences lie. And I hear that guy sing and I go, I'm not that bad.
Fair enough.
And the thing is, that singer's made a lot of, I mean, if he's been smart, he's made a lot of money, because I think they turned down every label deal ever. I think that was their big, that they never wanted to be signed. So any money they're making off of the streaming, I don't even know if they're a band anymore. I became a fan recently of that stuff. And I was like, if they didn't do the label thing, then all the money's in their pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you don't go. People don't know that crap. That's like, if you go with a label, it's because of the potential connections. That's it. You're not going because you make $1 million. You may never see a dime. But when you go and play a show, you can make your living off of that. But selling your music through a label, the big deals back in like the 90s and early 2000s, Everclear had set a record for making like a nickel per album. And
wow,
that was
it's crazy to break it down like that, a nickel.
Well, it's just like I tell musicians all the time, especially younger musicians who are just getting into it and they're really young. Yeah. It's nowadays there's really no room for record labels, because at the end of the day, you're probably going to get fucked. And it's going to be like prison fucked with no lube.
So much stuff.
Because here's the way it is. Like, you're taking a loan, and you're going to have to pay that loan back with interest. And you can guarantee that interest is going to be astronomical. So the only money that you're going to make off of that is you better hope that whatever money they fronted you spent it well, and you were smart about how you spent it, and you're going to do well in tours, because the only money you're going to make is off of tours and merch. That's it. The money off of your streaming and album sales, you're fucked. That's all going to go to them.
I read an article this morning. One of the girls from Butcher Babies, she quit.
Yeah, I didn't call Harvey.
I didn't realize she's marrying the drummer from Anthrax, Charlie Benante.
Yeah, and Pantera.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that. And she's set up. She doesn't have to worry about sandwich money anymore, But Babies are known, and they're much more known than my band. And she says that if they aren't on the road 12 months a year, that they can't make enough to live off of.
Mm-hmm.
That's her work. And I was like, man, that's sad. And I'm not gonna name drop. I have old bandmates that are in very known signed bands now.
Yeah.
And one of them told me to my face when he was on tour with some other bigger bands like Machine Head and stuff. He told me to my face that he's lucky if in a good year he can pull 40 grand. And I'm like, but everybody knows your band. Everybody knows who you are. And he said, yeah, but he's not married. He has no kids. He decided to stay that way. And if he did have a wife and a kid and a home to pay for, because I mean, imagine for money, it just goes home to his parents or something when he comes back from tour. But he'd be screwed, man. Especially if he lives in a very expensive part of the country. 40 grand, that's nothing where he lives.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're living in the deep South, you know, in a rural area, that's not bad. That's really not bad at all. You can have a house and a couple of cars with that out in the, you know, the country. But if you live in one of the cities, like in Austin or Lord forbid, you know, New York City or LA or something, no way.
I could.
Oh yeah. No.
Even being single, terrible. So it makes me very sad, but also I know some things that, like, I know what my limits are when it comes to signing a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, I know my is more commercially viable than a lot of other metal. Like, you can hum a lot of our stuff, and some people come up to us and they're singing along in my face, and it blows my mind. I'm like, you know, these words, never put them online, so they can tell what I'm saying, I guess. You know.
Well, that's
Right.
good.
I can see the Mechanic A. Guess I'll never quit my day job. Well, but I didn't. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, no, don't quit your day job. Trust me. It's like I've got a day job. I work for a fucking radio station, and I do a lot of shit. And I can't quit nothing.
you know what?
Nope.
You know what? I pay the bills. I am a medical courier, so I deliver. I deliver. Sometimes it's blood and piss, and sometimes it's people's frozen embryos. You know,
Yeah.
so sometimes
You
it's
never
not.
know.
It's who I'm delivering.
True.
Yeah.
You never know.
Never know, man. It's like, and I like the flexibility in what I do because I'm an independent contractor. So if I want to go play a show, I tell them I can't work that day.
Yeah. Well, that's
Right.
good. At least be flexible with it.
And if they don't like it, I'll go work for someone else. That's the way that works. You know.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, I have a day job that there's some flexibility and stuff like that, which is nice, you know, with what I do during the day. But then the radio, working for the radio station, takes up a good portion of my time. And music to me is just a hobby that if I make some money off of it, great. If I don't, it's whatever. I just put it out there and it is what it is. That's just how it is. And, you know, it's sad that a lot of bands kind of have to look at that nowadays because the days of making millions and billions of dollars are pretty much dead, especially when it comes to like heavy metal and hard rock.
There are two things that are there's two branches of entertainment that are being killed by the same monster right now. Movies or anything with video, visuals, and music are both being killed by streaming. And everybody wants to. I've seen guys go online. They sound like employees for Spotify, and I'm not. I'm not anti-Spotify to the point of wishing it was out of business. I want them to pay. Think of us as commercial creators, right? We're basically everybody, you know. Think of a jingle saying, "Come listen to Spotify. Go turn on Spotify. Spotify is great. Turn on Spotify." No matter what I say, that's what we're doing. And if my commercial is being played on Spotify, no matter what I say in that commercial, if it says go kill a goat or whatever, people are coming to Spotify because of that commercial I made, right? The commercial. Yeah. If it was literally called a commercial, I would be paid millions. Right?
Yeah.
Now, they would actually pay, people would be paying back and forth for this thing to be made. It supports a whole industry full of people to make that commercial. And then, and then the commercial provider pays the channel or the carrier like Spotify or YouTube or whatever. They pay for to have their commercial on that platform. So it goes round and round, and the artist and the audience are all happy. But Spotify figured out this way to convince all of us like dummies that they can pay 0.000014 cents every time someone plays your whole commercial. And then you're like, I'm not making enough off of this to pay for the recording of this.
Yeah.
So what do I have to do to make money? I have to go and sell the physical copies at shows and hope they sell. I have to go and make a bunch of shirts to sell at shows. I have to make sure I watch all the costs to get to that show to sell that product. And in the end, I'm very lucky if I come out on top. And we do very well selling merch because we have some cool merch. And, man, it's not that way for everybody. Some people got great songs, terrible merch. Maybe we got great merch and we're a half-ass band. I don't know. But I mean, it's sad that streaming stuff is killing everything. And no matter what I say, someone pops up to say, well, no, actually, and then they give you fake math.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what I tell them is, as an artist with no backing, you cannot buy food with the money from Spotify and YouTube and CD Baby and whatever. I'm just saying all these things, right?
Yeah.
Until you have some promotion that you pay for. It's like more money out of pocket. It's like this big circle of me spending money to hope to get at least, to break even.
Yeah, it's the whole pay to play concept.
Really. And I can tell you right now, my old band who had like basically nothing for followers online, we toured the country and we were on MTV and had a lot of radio play back then. There weren't any serious online radio providers back then, and it's like we made more money without any of the Spotify type things involved. We just made more money back then, and we would come be like, oh look how many $100 we made in profit after paying for the U-Haul trailer and the gas and the food. And it was like really cool to the first tour you go out, you're in debt. The next one or the next one after that, you break even and you're like, that's amazing. The next one after that, you make a little profit. And if you stay on that course, it only goes up as long as your product is worth a damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this day and age, my band I'm in now is a bazillion times better than my old band. And we're struggling to get by. And we sell a lot of stuff. I was like, this is, basically, we all know we got grown-up stuff going on. We all know we have income from our jobs. And so out of our own pockets, we put money into the band, and any profit we get from the sales of the products we buy, we just put it back into the band. We don't take any of it for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
We just all more merch. And we just gave up on getting that money back. But now we're making more and we're getting more at shows to play. I mean,
right.
And we're just starting to see that happen. I'm not going to say numbers because that would be rude, but we're just starting. I mean, in the last year, our value at some shows has gone up like 500%, and that really warmed my heart. But it also,
that's a big increase.
What happens is it's still not enough for me to quit my job.
Not yet, because it's so. I don't want to say it's you're counting pennies, but you kind of are.
You need to act like you are forever. You need to pick those, and if you can survive off of they used to call it the loser's lunch, bologna on hand, right? If you can survive off of that, and you have the willpower to get by on something like that, well, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, well, it's keto. Think of it that way.
You're not wrong.
We're all going to be nice and slim. Yeah, we'll be tired all the time, but
you're not wrong.
But the thing is, you're going to look up and have a lot more money after the tour. As long
Right.
and also look, you know, when you go out there and you make friends, there's a lot of people, they love your music and they want to give you free food. And that's golly, oh man, that just makes you feel like you made it right there when someone loves you enough to give you a sandwich. The only thing better than that is when they love to give you a lot of booze. You know,
I'll take
like,
that.
hey guys, I know you're all sweaty and tired and you just got off stage, but you want some whiskey? Let me think. Oh yeah, you know.
It's like, no, I don't at all.
Oh, this is interesting.
Exactly. So now that we're towards the end, where do you guys like to talk to your fans? Where can they get your music at? And if you have merch available online, where can they get that merch at?
We have all the links for everything at boneatx.com. No spaces or dots or anything on our name on the website. It's just boneatx, as in Austin, Texas.com.
Okay.
And all the links there. We have all of our shirt design. Excuse me. All of our shirt designs are on Teespring. We stream on everything. I'm not gonna hate people for streaming on Spotify. As long as they hear us, I'm happy. But we definitely make more if you go to Pandora and YouTube and stream us there.
All right.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All right.
That's good. That's a good little thing, everybody. You all hear that? Everybody go to Pandora. Check it out.
Yep. Do that. All right. So we have ran out of time, boys and girls. We love you guys tonight. If you stick around on the 434 media page, the Rock Assault Radio Show will be going on. I will be helping co-host tonight, so I will be back on in literally 10 seconds. So if you guys want to watch the Rock Assault Radio Show with Big Will and myself, we'll be on tonight on that. Go check out Bone. Go to their fucking Facebook page. Go stream them. Go buy their shit. On that, we love you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight, John.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
No problem. We're out of here, y'all. Have a good night. Be safe and be good to each other.
Good night.